The rate of change of bears, n, so n's the rate of change of the bears, or sorry, n is the population. So the rate of change of n of the bears population is directly proportional to 350 minus n. Now, what does that directly proportional to 350 minus n tell me? Say again? Okay, yes, as n goes up, population goes up, but what does that tell me about my equation I'm going to be using, my differential equation that I'm going to be using to describe this situation? That's right, because this says rate of change of n. That means rate of change means it's a derivative of slope. So that's right, this is going to be dn dt. So the rate of change of the bear population with respect to time is going to be directly proportional to 350 minus n. Now, what does the directly proportional part mean? What do you got to put in there from the first part of the notes in this section? A k, some proportionality constant. The book uses, or the notes we use k, so I'm going to keep it k. Other books use different letters, but that means it's going to be k times this 350 minus n. So directly proportional means it's k times that. If it says inversely proportional, that means k goes in the numerator, and whatever it's inversely proportional to goes in your denominator. And what that means is, inversely means as one goes up, the other goes down. Directly proportional means as one goes up, they both go up. Same way, if one goes down, they both go down on direct. And inverse is one goes up, the other one goes down. Okay, so anyway, time t's in years. When t equals 0, the population's 100. So I'm going to write that down. That is my original start of my bear. So at the time 0 of this thing, my number of bears are 100. And when t equals 2, the bears have increased to 250 bears. So I got those two ordered pairs. So now I get to find, I'm going to be able to find C, I'm going to be able to find K, I'm going to be able to answer all kinds of questions. I'm going to skip down here to C real quick. When you have a direct proportionality and you want to find the limit of the bears, or the limit of whatever object you're talking about, it is always going to be this number right here. That number that you're subtracting the population from is the most bears that the place can take. So we can already get, I'm going to go ahead and put this down, that this is going to be the 350 possible bears. Okay? So what this thing is telling me is the bear population is always going to be below 350 because you can't have a negative bear population. Does that make sense? So that tells me that 350 is my max number of bears. So what do I need to do in order to solve this DiffyQ? Because I want to know what the bear population is in 3 years. That means I have to find a particular function. I'm going to integrate. So what do you do before you integrate?
Get them on the same side.
Separate your variables. You see dn is on the top on the left. So that means dn stays over here on the left. And I got to multiply my dt to the right. So all my n's are on the left. All my little t's are on the right. Do I have any big n's on the right side?
Yes.
So do you see this thing's in parentheses? That means this whole thing is part of n. So I need to divide or multiply by the reciprocal of that to get all my n's on the left. And I'm going to leave this constant of direct proportionality over there on the right. Now I get to do my integration. Now this k is just a number. That's why I put it in front of the integral. Now I'm going to do u substitution here because I have a denominator that's not just a variable to the first power. So I am going to let u equal 350 minus n. So that means that du is going to equal negative 1 dn. So what am I missing over here to get du in here? I'm missing a negative. So I'm just going to create a negative and destroy a negative. Okay, now because I don't have a lot of room, I'm going to do 2 steps at once. So I'm going to have the integral of 1 over u du. And I hope you all know you can put du over u if you want. I always write them beside, but 1 times du is du. And I'm going to divide both, or multiply both sides by negative 1 to get rid of that negative right now. which will bring this negative, make that a negative k over there. And then the integral of 1 with respect to t is t, and then I got to add some c to that thing. So there is my integration on the right. What's the integration of 1 over u? So it's the natural log of the absolute value of u. And then I got this same thing over here. And then what would I do next? Actually, I need to do something here first. What do I do with this u? I'm going to plug this thing back in because I want n's and I want t's. So you plug in the 350 minus n. Question so far? Now I want to get rid of natural log. So like I just said, I'm going to have e to the power over here and e to this whole power here. Now I just did a problem like this with you a few minutes ago. Some of you had it right to here on the quiz and then missed it from here. Once again, I'm going to write this down twice because some of you don't know this yet. Again, this is e to the natural log of the 350 minus n. And then over here, I get e to the negative kt power times e to the c power. That plus sign does not stay in there.
Good news, ISTEP finished on time. We're all set, so when the bell rings, go ahead to lunch or to your fifth period class.
So this whole thing is some c, and these cancel out.
Okay, thanks so much, students.
So I get 350 minus n, and if you want to put a t here, you can. Is going to equal some c from this part in the box, e to the negative kt power. Okay, now I can find c because they gave me the original 0, 100. Now this is where I did my notes wrong on the 7, 8 worksheet on 5 and 6. I just put the 100 in here. That wasn't right. I needed to take 350 minus 100 is going to equal some c, and this e to the, and I plug 0 into t. That makes this e to the 0. I hope you all realize that's 1. So that means c is going to be 250. Okay, so we're going to call it a day there, but